The Rolling Stones. Just the name conjured images of rebellion and rock and roll excess in the late 1960s. They were the embodiment of a cultural shift, a seismic change in the way music was perceived and experienced. Mick Jagger, the band's charismatic frontman, became a symbol of youthful rebellion. His stage presence was electric, his movements almost hypnotic, drawing the audience into a world where the rules were meant to be broken. His voice, a raw blend of blues grit and rock swagger, could seduce and shock in equal measure. It was a voice that could convey both the ecstasy of freedom and the anguish of existential dread. But nothing in the band's history could prepare the world for Sympathy for the Devil, a song so audacious, so darkly seductive, that it would forever alter the course of rock and roll. It was a bold statement, a musical journey into the heart of darkness. Released in 1968, a year of global upheaval and cultural revolution, Sympathy for the Devil was like a lightning bolt hurled from the heart of the era's growing darkness. The world was in turmoil, and the song captured that chaotic energy perfectly. It was a song that dared to humanize the ultimate evil. A song that dared to ask its listeners to consider the devil not as a monster in the shadows, but as a charming, persuasive figure who walked among us. This was a radical departure from the traditional portrayal of evil in music and culture. The song's impact was immediate and profound. It resonated with a generation that was questioning authority, challenging the status quo, and seeking deeper truths in a world that seemed increasingly chaotic and unpredictable. It became an anthem for a generation grappling with the Vietnam War, political assassinations, and the shattering of long-held societal norms. The song's lyrics, with their provocative imagery and philosophical undertones, spoke to the disillusionment and anger of the times. It cemented the Rolling Stones' reputation as the bad boys of rock and roll, a label they wore with a mixture of pride and amusement. They were the antithesis of the clean-cut pop stars of the era, and they reveled in their role as the provocateurs of the music world. But Sympathy for the Devil was more than just a shocking piece of music. It was a cultural touchstone, a song that forced its listeners to confront the darkness within themselves and the world around them. It challenged the listener to look beyond the surface and question the nature of good and evil. It was a cultural touchstone, a song that forced its listeners to confront the darkness within themselves and the world around them. The song's haunting melody and provocative lyrics created a sense of unease, compelling listeners to reflect on their own beliefs and values. It was, and remains, a testament to the enduring power of rock and roll to challenge, provoke, and endure. The song's legacy continues to influence musicians and listeners alike, reminding us of the transformative power of music to capture the spirit of an era and inspire future generations. To understand the genesis of Sympathy for the Devil, one must delve into the cauldron of creativity and chaos that was the Rolling Stones in the late 1960s. This period was a whirlwind of musical innovation, cultural upheaval, and personal transformation for the band members. The band, riding on a wave of unprecedented success, was also navigating personal demons, drug experimentation, and a growing fascination with the occult. Their music was a reflection of their lives, filled with the highs of fame and the lows of personal struggles. Mick Jagger, the band's lyricist, was deeply immersed in literature, particularly the works of French poet Charles Baudelaire, whose exploration of decadence and evil clearly influenced the song's themes. Baudelaire's vivid imagery and dark romanticism resonated with Jagger, providing a rich tapestry of ideas to draw from. Jagger has also cited Mikhail Bulgakov's novel The Master and Margarita, a satirical masterpiece featuring the devil as a charismatic trickster, as a key inspiration for the song. The novel's complex narrative and its portrayal of the devil as a sophisticated, almost charming figure offered a fresh perspective that Jagger wove into the song's lyrics. The cultural climate of the time also played a significant role. The 1960s were a decade of radical change, marked by social upheaval and a questioning of traditional values. This era of rebellion and transformation provided a fertile ground for artistic expression. The Vietnam War was raging, casting a long shadow over the world. The conflict not only influenced political discourse but also permeated the arts, with musicians and artists using their platforms to comment on the war and its impact on society. The assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy had shattered America's innocence, leaving many questioning the very nature of good and evil. These tragic events forced a national reckoning with issues of justice, morality, and the human condition. Musically, the Rolling Stones were drawing inspiration from diverse sources. Their sound was evolving, incorporating elements from various genres and cultures, reflecting their broadening horizons and musical curiosity. Their love of the blues, particularly the music of Robert Johnson, who legend claimed had sold his soul to the devil, is evident in the song's driving rhythm and bluesy groove. Johnson's haunting melodies and mythic persona were a perfect fit for the song's dark, enigmatic themes. The rhythms that Jagger had been exploring can also be heard in the song's infectious, danceable beat. This fusion of styles created a unique sound that was both innovative and deeply rooted in musical traditions from around the world. The Rolling Stones were not just passive observers of the cultural shifts around them, they were active participants, constantly seeking new experiences and influences to incorporate into their music. This openness to experimentation and their willingness to push boundaries were key to their enduring success and the timeless appeal of their music. Sympathy for the Devil stands as a testament to the Rolling Stones' ability to channel the zeitgeist of their era into a powerful, provocative piece of music. It remains a compelling exploration of the dualities of human nature, capturing the spirit of a tumultuous time while continuing to resonate with audiences today. Sympathy for the Devil is not a song that reveals its secrets easily. It's a complex piece that requires more than just a casual listen to truly appreciate its depth and nuance. Its lyrics, a tapestry of historical allusions, religious imagery, and philosophical musings, demand careful unpacking. Each line is meticulously crafted, weaving together various elements that challenge the listener to think deeply about the themes presented. From its opening lines, the song establishes a sense of unease, a blurring of the lines between good and evil. This ambiguity is a hallmark of the song, inviting listeners to question their own perceptions of morality. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long year, stole many a man's soul and faith. These lines are delivered with a sense of confidence and charm, drawing the listener in. The devil, presented as a suave, sophisticated figure, invites the listener into his confidence. He is not the grotesque figure of traditional law, but rather a charismatic and persuasive entity. He boasts of his longevity, his influence, his role in some of history's darkest chapters. This portrayal challenges the listener to reconsider the nature of evil and its manifestations throughout history. I was round when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain, made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands and sealed his fate. These lines highlight the devil's presence at pivotal moments in history, suggesting his hand in shaping the course of human events. Throughout the song, the devil is positioned not as a monstrous figure of pure evil, but as a cunning manipulator, a master of temptation who preys on human weakness. This depiction is both unsettling and thought-provoking, as it forces the listener to confront the idea that evil can be subtle and insidious. He is, in many ways, a reflection of the darkness that resides within us all. This introspective angle adds a layer of psychological depth to the song, making it not just a commentary on external evil, but also on the internal struggles we all face. The song's chorus, a deceptively simple chant of woo-woo, woo-woo, sympathy for the devil, is both chilling and strangely alluring. It's a hypnotic refrain that captures the listener's attention and reinforces the song's themes. It's a reminder that evil often presents itself in seductive guises, that it can be tempting to sympathize with the devil, to understand his motivations, even to find common ground with him. This seductive quality is a key aspect of the song's enduring appeal, as it challenges listeners to grapple with their own moral compass and the allure of the forbidden. Sympathy for the Devil is more than just a song. It's a narrative that invites listeners to explore the complexities of good and evil, to question their own beliefs, and to engage with the darker aspects of human nature. It's a timeless piece that continues to resonate, provoking thought and discussion long after the final note has faded. As we delve deeper into its lyrics and themes, we uncover layers of meaning that challenge us to think critically about the world around us and our place within it. Sympathy for the Devil remains a powerful testament to the enduring power of music to provoke, to challenge, and to inspire. The recording of Sympathy for the Devil was as tumultuous and intense as the song itself. Sessions took place at London's Olympic Studios in the spring of 1968, and the atmosphere was electric, fueled by creative energy, copious amounts of drugs, and the ever-present tension that permeated the band's relationships. Keith Richards, the band's guitarist and musical architect, was initially resistant to the song's unusual structure and Latin rhythms. He envisioned a more straightforward blues number, but Jagger was adamant. It was Anita Pallenberg, Richards' girlfriend and a powerful presence in the Stones' inner circle, who convinced Richards to embrace the song's unconventional arrangement. Pallenberg, a former model and actress, possessed a keen artistic sensibility and an almost mystical connection to the darker side of life. She recognized the song's power and urged Richards to approach it with an open mind. Her influence on Richards and on the band's sound during this period cannot be overstated. Under Pallenberg's guidance, Richards experimented with different guitar tunings and effects, ultimately crafting the song's signature riff, a hypnotic blues-infused melody that perfectly complements Jagger's sinister vocals. The song's final form, with its layered percussion, swirling organs and Jagger's haunting vocals, is a testament to the band's willingness to push creative boundaries and embrace the unknown.